Good day everyone. So this day I will tackle about the Greek philosophers and we will know who is the Greek philosophers. So first, kanang ila-ilahon na to kung unsa ang Greek philosopher. So what is Greek philosophy? So when we say Greek philosophy is a concept of pre-Socratic and Socrates, in which ang pre-Socrates is mao na siya ang teacher nga kuan bitaw. Mao na siya ang teacher sa mga philosophies in which silang Thales, Aristotle, something like that, Aristotle and Plato. Then when we say Socrates is mao na siya ang mga students nga kanang mga ancient Greece were Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. These are some of the most well-known of all Greek philosophers. So, next. The next presentation is, when we say, this is not Thales, it is Thales of Miletus. So, unsa ganina siya? Thales of Miletus. So, Thales of Miletus, 624-546, when we say BCE, before Common Era. So, was a Greek philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer who is widely considered the father of Western philosophy. He was born in Miletus, a Greek city in Ionia, modern Turkey na siya karon. So, and is known for his groundbreaking approach to understanding the world through natural explanations rather than relying on mythology. So, si Thales Miletus is mao na siya ang kuan kanang mao na siya ang nag-explain sa groundbreaking approach natural explanations, then wala siya ga-rely sa mythology. So when we say mythology, it's about the gods and goddesses in Greece, kay also mangguna sa Greece god kanang silang Zeus, silang Venus, kana sila. Then I have a story of you that kuan Pandora's box. So kanang, have you familiar of this na si Pandora is kuan siya ni Zeus, nagbabala siya ni Zeus nga this box is dili siya pwede i-open kay basta na isulod adto nga murag dili na to makita. Then wala siya nisultihan ni Zeus. Then si Zeus, by the power of curiosity, kay syempre sige man siya paalala ni Pandora nga dili lagi daw i-open ang box. So kini baya kita baya no kay curious baya gid ta basta ignon ta sa atong ginikanan nak ayaw ni hilabti kay kuan muna ni unya kita kay manghilabot baya jud unsa man jud ni ana ba. So parehara gihapon na siya ni Zeus nga by his curiosity iya gyud gi-open ang box. So pag open niya sa box is ang sulod di atong box is mo na siya ang kuan kagutom, disease, sakit o crisis. So mo na isulod dito sa box. Then pag open niya adto dinibalik na si Pandora. Nakabantay si Pandora nga ang box is gi-open ni Zeus. Then mo to siya pag open ni Zeus is na daw mga sakit kanang mga crisis kanang mga inana. Then dira daw nagsugod ang tanan nga bantog na ay sakit. So next. So birth. So kanang mo ni siya ang mga key points ni Thales of Miletus. Birth C624 BCE, before Common Era, Miletus, Ionia, modern Turkey. So dira siya gipanganak sa Ionia nga modern Turkey na karon. Death C546 BCE, age 78. Known for as philosopher, mathematician, and astronomy. So first to propose natural explanation for the origin of the universe, suggesting that water was the fundamental substance or arc from which everything is derived. Mathematics credited with introducing geometry to Greece and developing Thales' theorem of fundamental principles in geometry. So, as we remember in our high school days, katong grade 7 na to, katubi tang triangle, like katong AB, CE, katuba, basta kadto siya. Then, astronomy, famous for predicting the solar eclipse of 585 before Common Era, demonstrating his keen observation skills and understanding of celestial phenomena. So, iya hapon nang gikuan nga mag-predict sa kung kanus ang mag-solar eclipse. The next. Thales' famous philosophy, the water theory. So Thales most famous philosophical contribution is his theory that water is the ark, the fundamental principle or substance from which all things are derived. He observed that water exists in various forms, liquid, solid, gas, and plays a crucial role in sustaining life. He also noted that water could change shape and move while remaining fundamentally the same substance, leading him to believe it was the underlying essence of all things. So, ang iyang famous philosophy is the water theory. So, ana siya nga ang tubig daw is dira daw ta nag-sustaining life. Then, without water is kanang mamatay ta. Tinuod ba kung walay tubig diri sa kalibutan, mabuhi ba ta? Diba, dili? So, ana siya nga ang water is nagikan dira tanan sa tubig. Kay without tubig, wala ta diri sa kalibutan. So, he is also said that ang tubig daw is manang liquid, solid, gas, in which importante siya sa atoa. Then, next. This theory was a revolutionary departure from traditional explanations based on mythology and divine intervention. Thales sought to explain the world through natural principles, paving the way for the development of scientific inquiry. While his theory is not scientifically accurate, it represents a significant step towards a more rational and empirical understanding of the universe. So, by his theory, katong yung water theory is kanang muna siya ang nag-break sa katong mga mythology bitaw nga mga tinuuhan sa mga tao nga nagikan ang basta nagikan daw ang atong lawas is about sa I don't know ang asa nagikan basta kay ang mga tinuuhan sa mga tao is lahi dili sa tubig. Ang ilang mga tinuuhan is lahi ra kang Thales, but by Thales theory is mao na siya nga nagpa-break sa mga tao nga dili di ay mo ay nagpamugna sa mga tao nga dili di ay dira gikan dira nabuhi ang tao dili dai sa tubig. So ana sila nga kuan sought to explain the world through natural principles, paving the way for the development of scientific inquiry. While his theory is not scientifically accurate, it represents a significant step towards a more rational and empirical understanding of the universe. Though ang iyahang theory is not scientifically accurate kay mag-anam-anam kalabay ang panahon, mag-anam-anam pog ka naana po yung mga theory nga mga mahibalaan. So, though sa iyahang pagkuan explain nga ang tubig is crucial gid sa atoa, is sa ilang panahon is mao ni siyang theory, but karon is naanay mga nadugang nga mao na siya nga ang tubig is mo na siya sustaining life, then makadungag ay in this generation is nana poy nadungag nga ang tubig ug ang kuan inana ba like murag magka-innovate ang iyahang theories bitaw. Then next, Thales' legacy, a foundation for Western thought. Thales' influence extends far beyond his specific theories, his emphasis on natural explanations, and his willingness to question traditional beliefs laid the groundwork for the development of Greek philosophy and science. He inspired subsequent philosophers including Anaximander and Anaximenes, who continued to explore the nature of the universe and the fundamental principles of governing existence. So, kini si Anaximander and Anaximenes is mo na siyang nag-continue sa kanang kuan, nature of the universe, mo na siyang nag-continue sa mga theories ng katong fundamental principles governing existence. Then, si Thales is wala gid siya libog. Ana siya nga, he is open, willingness to questions about his theory. So, willing siya nga naay kanang murag mo question, naay mudungag sa iyahang theories. Kay, tungod, kanang laid the groundwork. So when we say groundwork, an ideas that done already sa iyahang stage. So sa karon is kanang mura siya nadungagan bitaw nga idea. So that is a groundwork.
So good day everyone. So I am going to tackle about the two ancient Greek philosophers, Anaximander and Anaximenes. So who were they? So, Anaximander and Anaximenes were philosophers from Milesius, part of the pre-Socratic era of philosophy. Both were students of Thales, the founder of Milesian school. Their ideas aim to explain the universe through natural processes rather than mythological explanation. So, first we have Anaximander, born in 610 before Christ era in Miletus, Ionia. Okay, so he is a polymath because besides being a philosopher, he was also a scientist and a geographer, known for concepts like Aperon and for his pioneering efforts in creating a map of the known world. So, Anaximander's philosophy. For his theory of Aperon, he believed that the underlying principle of the universe was Aperon, an infinite, boundless, and indefinite substance. So, for example, kanang naka sa tunga-tunga sa dagat. So, imong panlantaw sa kinatubukan nga dagat is wala siya katapusan, tas dili sab clear kung asa ang sinugdanan tas asa ang katapusan. So, basta boundless siya, infinite. Then, unlike Thales, who believed that water was the fundamental element, Anaximander argued that no known element could be the basis of all existence. So, para sa yaha, walay kanang bisan unsa nga element nga nagkuan sa tanang existence. In cosmology, Anaximander proposed that the Earth is a cylinder that floats freely in the space, with celestial bodies revolving around it, and that it remains in the place due to equilibrium rather than any specific supports. So, for example, kanang balon nga milupad sa langit, no? Kanang kuan siya, kanang nag-float siya freely nga walay bisan unsa nga nag-support sa iya. So, ingon ana iyahang kuan, iyang theory. So, siya pod ang nag-create sa earliest map of the known world, demonstrating his understanding in geography. So, Anaximander's contribution to science. So, in biology, Anaximander theorized that life began in the water and that humans evolved from fish-like creatures. So, para sa iyahan, nag-evolve ang humans sa mga fish-like na creatures. Then, in meteorology, he attempted to explain natural phenomena such as rain, wind, and thunder through natural processes rather than divine intervention. So, para sa iyaha, through natural processes ang gihikanan sa tanan, dili sa kanang divine intervention. So, next we have Anaximenes, born in 585 before Christ era in Miletus, Ionia. As a student of Anaximander, he continued exploring cosmology. His main idea was the air. So, in this fundamental substance from which everything else originates. So, Anaximenes' philosophy, his theory of air as arc. Anaximenes believed that air is the origin of all things. So, para sa iya, ang air ang sinugdan sa tanan. He believed that air could transform into different forms through the process of condensation and rarefaction. So, when condensed, air becomes water and then earth. Then, kung rarefied, it turns into fire. So, in cosmology, he also believed that the earth was flat and floated on air, and that the various celestial bodies were also made of air. So, para sa iyaha, ang ang earth nag-float sa air, sa space. He also proposed that the human soul is made of air, which gives life to the body. So para sa iya gagikan ang soul sa air nga mo'y naghatag sa body of life. So, there are differences and similarities in theories kay. There's similarities kay both sila nga nag-sought a single principle that underlies all existence, and both sila nga underlines a principle of art to explain the nature of the universe. Then both moved away from mythological explanation to naturalistic ones. Then their differences: Anaximander's Aperon was abstract and indefinite, while Anaximenes' air was tangible and observable. So kang Anaximander is kanang haka-haka lang, kanang dili clear ang yahang kuan kung asa gagikan, while kang Anaximenes is kanang makita, so which is mao ang kuan ang air. Then Anaximander's view was more speculative, moten of Anaximenes is observation iya and in his theories. So that's all. Thank you.
So good day everyone, I'm gonna discuss who is Pythagoras. Pythagoras was an ancient Greek philosopher and a mathematician born on the island of Samos. He's the best known of the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem is mao na siya pag mag-discuss kita further to math, no? Mao na siya dira na si Pythagoras na kuan sa mga engineering. So iya nating formula is c squared equals to a squared plus b squared. So C is the length of the hypotenuse and A and B are the length of the other two sides. So mao na ang Pythagorean theorem in mathematics. Through his contribution and influence extend beyond into music, metaphysics, and ethics. He founded a religious movement known as Pythagoreanism. Mao na ang mga follower ni Pythagoras, which combines aspects of mathematics, philosophy, and mathematicism. So, key idea, numbers of essence of reality. So, Pythagoras believed that numbers are the fundamental reality and the universe is structured according to the mathematical principle. For him, everything could be understood in terms of numerical relationship. Like, everything sa iyaha, kang Pythagoras is, anything sa iyaha is, nagi siya math. So, mo yun ang ginakuan sa mga engineering about sa mga math. Like, kanang mga math, basta mga math, kanang mga mathematician. Si Pythagoras, gudilahang kanang mga best example. Sunod, harmony and order. Harmony and order is proposed that harmony in music, mathematics, and cosmos is governed by proportions and ratios. This idea lead to concept to the music of the shepherds, where the planets and stars move according to mathematical harmony. So makabantay ba mo nga kanang bitong pag ang star kitang mga philosopher kay ginakuan jud nila ang kuan langit kana kay kana magkuan jud nila ba nga tira centimeter pila ang kuan pila gyud kanang move pila ka centimeter kalayon sa star so mo like mga na kuan jud ma-determine jud nila no mao gyud na siya si mo na ang kuan ni idea ni harmony and orders ni Pythagoras. Next is reincarnation. So si Pythagoras is nagabilib siya og reincarnation. So kita ba gabilib ba ta reincarnation? So mo na siya no. Gabilib ta kay some of us depende pud sa mga religion. And reincarnation, Pythagoras also believed in the transmigration of soul, where the soul undergoes a series of reincarnation. So, manang maingon sila no, kanang yung iro reincarnate man na kanang itong mga nakay madunggan nga mga stories na nang nibalik daw siya sa iyang past, nakabalo siya kabalo na siya sa ihang katong nangahitabo sa ihang mga past or nahitabo na niya sa mga present mo na ang kinakuan na ni Pythagoras nga nituo siya og reincarnation. So next is mayang philosophy. Pythagoras' philosophy combines the mathematics, spiritual, and ethics. His followers live a disciplined life, focusing on purity and the pursuit of knowledge. They believe that by understanding the universe through math, they would connect with the higher truth and live in a harmony with the world. So, mo nakaingon din no na by understanding the universe through math, they could connect with a higher truth and live in a harmony within the world. So man sila na ang mga follower po ni Pythagoras no, gabilib po sila nga if makonect na to kung makakonect sa world through math, himo po si Pythagoras mathematician because his belief in the power of number to explain the universe. So man siya no kanang connect, so naka-explain to a numbers explain the universe combined with his education and philosophical pursuits. Ana ang philosophy ni Pythagoras. Next is Heraclitus. Heraclitus was a pre-Socratic philosopher from Ephesus in modern day Turkey. Often refers to as the obscure due to the enigmatic nature of his writing. Heraclitus is the best known for his doctrine of change. Key idea of Heraclitus is one is doctrine of flux. Doctrine of flux is famous state you cannot step in the same river twice. So it means you cannot step in the same river twice. So it means like example, magtanong ka seeds sumutubo man siya no, dili na dapat nimo siya mabalik nga itanom, like dili nimo siya pwede mabalik ang ibalik, dapat na ibalik. Dili na ta pwede magbalik-balik na kana nga butang. So you cannot kay katoy mong seeds nga imong gitanom ni tubo naman man siya kahoy. So dili na siya may mong seeds balik para imo na pong itanom. So sunod is unity and opposites. Heraclitus agreed that opposites are necessary for harmony and balance in the world. For example, day and night, life and death, or war or peace, and love and hate. So, mana siya ang example sa unity of opposite. All of them are interconnected and dependent on one another. He believed that conflict between opposites is what drives change and maintains the order of the universe. So, nakasulti mo din nun, like, dependent sila sa isang usa. Like, war, makuan to war. War na siya. Mag-away na sila. And peace. Like, makig-usa tatanan. Like, basta dependent sila sa isa't usa. So, next is locus. Locus. Heraclitus introduced the concept of locus, which can be understood as the underlying principle of reason that governs the universe. While everything is flux, the locus provides a sense of order and structure to the ever-changing world. It represents the rational and unifying force that ensures that coherence of the universe despite its constant transformation. Example sa locus no kana. Imagine the natural circle in the world, such a change of season. Like kanang circle bitaw nga bali makabaluta nga ay kani basta Burman biya kay tingtugnaw na siya no, so muna siya ang kanang basta ka na magtuyog, basta kung makabalo na ta, kung makapredict na ta ba kana nga basta Burmans na tugnaw na pag po yun ng pagting summer may bawaan na to pagting summer kay mo na siya magsugod sa summer, like anong ibaw na to nga init, so kana nga month niya, init na kayo, kani summer, malaki na naman, predict na nato siya ba. And, ito siya, mapredict nito siya nga, muna siya. So, napaday isa. Locus is the reason why the universe doesn't descend into chaos despite its perpetual transformation. It is the invisible law that ensures balance, harmony in the cosmos. So, wala siya, no? There's the understandable naman siguro. Next is ang philosophy ni Heraclitus. Heraclitus believed that everything is constantly changing and connected. He saw the conflict and change as natural and necessary, not harmful. He introduced the idea of the logos, muna tong giingon ganina logos, like doesn't descend into chaos despite its perpetual transformation. Dili siya makahatag sa ato o kagubot. Meaning that despite the apparent chaos, there is a hidden order and reason guiding the universe even if the people doesn't always see it. So, mo nang giingon dili no nga, parang giingon ganina nga, locus is makahatag siya sa ato, makahatag siya benefit sa ato miskan pag maingon sila ay kanang tinulan mo ko na bagyo na pud lagi na like that, makadaot siya sa atong universe, dili na mao ang ginathink ni Heraclitus na everything happened for a reason mo na kibali. Dili tanan nga makadaot sa ato basta man siya, dili kun tanan maayos ato makapaayos ato Next is Parmenides. He was a pre-Socratic philosopher from Elea in southern Italy. He is often regarded as one of the founders of metaphysics and ontology due to his profound contribution to the understanding of being and reality. So, mani ang key ideas ni Parmenides. Ano ang key idea niya? First is the way of truth and the way of opinion. Parmenides distinguished between two paths in inquiry. The way of truth, which leads to a knowledge of what truly is, and the way of opinion, which based on sensory experience and leads to the falsehood. So, it leads the conclusion that only being truly exists. So kung unsalay na and it is unchanging, internal, and invisible. This was dismissed sensory experience as unreadable and insists on the absolute and unalterable nature of reality. So the way of truth is the focus lang siya sa understanding and changing reality through a reason, like kanilang kay being mauman jud ihang the way of truth, the way of opinion, like basta kay kanilang mo na siya ang the way of truth. Next is being is unchanging and internal. So being Parmenides assess that being, what truly exists, is unchanging, internal, and visible. So parehara siya sa kanang the way of truth. So ang kanilang is not to come into existence, nor does it perish. Being simplest is, and there is no room for everything else. Like basta kanilang wala to siya labo, wala siya. This is the idea based on the principle that what is cannot arise from what is not. So kung maora ni dili na to, mo na siya ang gina-experience niya, ang being unchanging and internal. For example, like imagine block of marble in a way of opinion. You might see the marble being sculptured in the status, changing its form. But in the way of truth, Parmenides would argue that the marble in its essence does not change. Its fundamental being, like kung unsa ang mahimo ato mao na gyud to siya, dili na siya mabalik kung unsa man naa siya. Kabali, ang marble mahimo ka, di ba mahimo na ang marble mahimo og tiles. So, kung ang marble mahimo na siya tiles na gyud to siya, dili na to siya as in nga marble kay kibalik, dili na siya marble. Kibali na siya Paris like mahimo man siya tiles, so marble tiles na siya. Mo na siya ang being unchanging and eternal. And rejection of change. Permanents famously reject the reality of change, arguing that change involves something moving from what is to what is not, which is impossible become not being doesn't exist. Therefore, all phenomena of change, growth, or decay are mere illusions, and true reality is static and unchanging. For example, consider the idea of night turning into a day. To our sense, it appears that the sky doesn't change. It appears that the sky changed from dark to light, which suggests that something day. So kita nga makabalota nga pagngit-ngit na gabi na gyud. Pag hayag na like kanang kita na tag kanang hayag na gyud siya sa tong panan-aw. So ay kana siya kanang day na muna siya ang kung unsa gid siya, mo gyud na siya. Mo gyud na siya ang sa iya. Kung unsa na kong explain ito siya. And ang philosophy niya is Parmenides believes that true reality can be understood through our sense, but only through reason and logic. He rejected the idea that we can rely on what we see and feel to understand the world. Instead, he argued that reality is unchanging, even if our sense tells us otherwise. His ideas from the basic of the Eleatic school of thought and had a big impact on later philosophers like Plato, who tried to reconcile Parmenides' idea of an unchanging reality with the unchanging world we experience. Parmenides, no, mo na to kung giingon siya, like, para sa kay-idea niya, being, kung unsa siya, mauragid siya. Kung mauto siya, maugrid to siya. Like, dili na siya, mingon like, dili na siya, kung, like, una pa siya isumpay, bito, kung unsa siya, unsa rigid siya, marunta siya.
Good day everyone, I am Trisha Piadao and we're going to tackle about the philosophy of Zeno of Elea, Empedocles, and Anaxagoras. So first, Zeno of Elea. Zeno lived around 490 to 430 BC. Zeno is the most famous for his paradoxes, which are thought-provoking arguments that seems to lead to contradictions. These paradoxes challenge common sense ideas about motion, space, and time. Also, Zeno is the student of Parmenides. So, what is paradoxes? A paradoxes is like an ideas or situation that is contradiction to what is in real life or what is in real. So, first nga iyahang famous nga paradoxes is the dichotomy paradoxes. To travel a distance, you must first travel half the distance, then half of the remaining distance, and so on, creating an infinite series of steps. This suggests that motions impossible. So, meaning, kung like example, musaka ko og hagdanan, nako sa ubos. So, para makasaka ko dito napa daw koy mo stop sa daw ko sa katunga. Pag abot na ko sa katunga, napadyo daw ko'y katunga, hantod sa katunga na sa, so, pasabot niya is, a motion that is impossible, so, murag dili ko kaabot sa akong padulungan, which is, di ba, contradiction siya sa ato ang real life, kay makabot na dito ako asa ta padulong. So, ang next niya nga paradox, the Achilles and the Tortoise paradox. The Achilles and the Tortoise paradox. Achilles, the fastest runner, can never overtake a slower tortoise because the tortoise will always be slightly ahead. So, for example, sa starting point, nidaga na si Achilles, daga na siya niya ang si tortoise pod kay nagka-forward ginagmay. So, pagbalik ni Achilles sa iyang starting point, which is ang finish na raw, nag-una gihapon si tortoise na ay distance sa ilaha nga iha na sampunan para maapsa na sad niya si tortoise. So kana nga nabog ana si tortoise bisan ginagmay is dili daw kaapa si Achilles kay naa jud siya permitting nga punan nga distance. And then next is the arrow paradox. An arrow is flight is stationary at any given moment because it occupies a specific point in space. So example ani is a video, a slow motion video, and every second, every kanang i-post nimo is wala man naglihok ang arrow. So, sa ato in real life, is balik kay, bisan pag-usa nato maglihok man dyan ang arrow. Ang purpose is to challenge the mind of the people nga muting critically what's the world within us. And kaning mga philosophy nila is na-effect sa philosophy, the mathematics, and the science. Philosophy, the logic. Ang sa mathematics, the like kato sa calculus thing, and sa science is the time, etc. The next is Empedocles. He lived around 494 to 434 BC. He's famous for his theory of the four elements: fire, air, water, and earth. So he believed these elements were eternal and unchangeable, and everything in the world was just a mix of them. So, ang tanan na ito makita is para sa iya is just a mix of these four elements. So for example, the wood. Wood is has an earth kay solid and kanang has weight. Ang fire, it can be burned. Ang air, kay release smoke. Ang water is absorb moisture. So, he also thought there were two forces, love and strife. So, kaning love brings together these four elements that constantly mix, and kaning strife separate the elements. So, kung kaning katong akong example nga wood, pag strife comes in, dira na to kanang katong ma-burn siya, masunog na siya ang wood. And then Empedocles was also interested in the transmigration of souls, believing that souls move from one body to another after death. So para sa iya, dili man mamatay ang soul. Mubalhin lang siya sa other na body. It can be kanang sa human, animals, manok, iring, iro, baka, babo, etc. So that's the reason nga he was a vegetarian and thought killing animals was wrong. So dili siya mo kuha na ng mga animals kay it might be nga kanang animal is ang iyang soul is kanang sa una is human and gakon pa siya og karma nga kung sa imong gibuhat nga mo reflect siya sa imong next pa nga life soul. He was a bit of a legend in his own time, with stories about him performing miracles and even being worshipped as God. His death is also shrouded in mystery, with some accounts claiming he jumped into Mount Etna to prove his divinity. So, niyambak siya itong Mount Etna na to prove his divinity. So, Empedocles is, he's trying to explain the world in a logical way. Next is Anaxagoras. He lived around 500 to 428 BC. He had some pretty unique ideas about the universe. He believed that everything in the universe was made up of tiny particles called seeds. These seeds were eternal and unchangeable, and each one contained a bit of everything else. So a piece of bread actually has the seeds of hair, flesh, and even stars in it. So siya nga kung like sample bread lang na kung kita mo tanaw, it's just a bread. Pero kang Anaxagoras, na siya seeds of hair, seeds of flesh, even seeds of star. Another example is coffee. A cup of coffee. Kung ito na siya tanawon, it's just a coffee. Pero para kay Anaxagoras, na siya seeds of sugar, seeds of water, seeds of everything. And Anaxagoras also thought that a cosmic mind called Nous was responsible for organizing the universe. This mind set the universe in motion, mixing and separating the seeds to create the world as we know it. So just imagine, nga katong seeds nga akong gingon ganina is the ingredients. Ang kining Nous is the chef. So si chef, si Nous, mo-mix siya, mo-organize siya ato nga mga seeds or atong ingredients to make something which is the world, create the world as we know it. So Anaxagoras was a bit controversial in his time. He was exiled from Athens for his ideas which challenged tradition beliefs. So si Anaxagoras is different jud ang iyang ideas sa una sa lang people. Ang mga people sa una is motuog God, ang God jud ang nag-control sa everything. Pero si Anaxagoras is naghatag siya og logical, scientific way of thinking. That's the reason nga napahawa siya dito sa Athens. Nahimo man siya influential sa other philosophers like Plato and Aristotle. So, mura na jud na ganang na-doktor nga na-create siya og tambal nga against sa traditional nga medicine. So at first dili man jud na sila mo trust, but sa later on magamit jud na nila kay it's effective. And then Anaxagoras teach us to study and learn new things nga kung unsa to nakita dili lang kana but mo go deeply ta para masabtan nato ang butang. So Anaxagoras teaches us to be curious, to ask questions, and to learn deeply to understand something. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. I am Noveam Golasa and ako ang mag-report sa Classical Greek philosophers. Classical Greek philosophers were early thinkers from ancient Greece who explored fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, ethics, and society. So first is, nga part sa Greek philosopher is Socrates. He is considered one of the most influential philosophers of all time. He is known for his Socratic method, a technique involving asking probing questions to stimulate critical thinking and uncover underlying beliefs. Socrates believed that an unexamined life was not worth living and that virtue was ultimate good. So, ang Socratic method nga, gigamit ni Socrates ang iyahang theory nga instead of providing answers, he guided others to discover insights themselves through dialogue. So, ang kanina yung Socratic method is mo na siya ang technique no nga. For example, ang iyang ginabuhat sa una is, mungutana siya sa mga tao dito sa Griego. So, mungutana siya dito, mag-ask siya, for example, mo-ask siya, what is love? So, di ba kay, dili ang isa ka to, dili biya same og answer sa isa ka person na ilahay binag perspective through ato, maka-gain siya og ganang, iya bitong i-test ang kanang, unsay mga beliefs sa mga tao, or unsay lang panilawala, or based silang experience. So, una, Socratic method. His influence stems from his focus on ethical development and the pursuit of truth by emphasizing critical thinking and intellectual inquiry. Socrates laid the groundwork for modern philosophy and education. His approach continues to shape discussions in ethics, logic, and the broader field of critical reasoning. So karon, di ba, nagamit hapon nato ang Socratic method. Kaya di ba, kabantay mo ang teacher if siya mag-discuss, this discussion, mangutana sa siya about sa topic. Like for example,
naba mo idea about ani nga topic. So di ba ang mga bata mo answer dan nga ako man pero lahi kay idea pero through ato murag maka-gain ba niya murag magtubag na dayon mo murag through ana kay through dialogue biyang Socratic method. Then kani nakuan siya sa subject nga mga ethics kay nabi dira ang logic no kanang imo jud ikuan imong critical thinking ba nga abot ana nga idea nga dapat imo jud ikuan kung unsa ang dapat nimo ingon about nga ana nga word na nadyo kay idea. Next is si Plato. A student of Socrates is renowned for his theory of forms, which posits that the physical world is a mere shadow of a perfect and changing real of forms. According to Plato, the physical world is merely a shadow of these true forms. This theory became influential because it emphasized the importance of abstract ideas in understanding reality, laying the groundwork for studies in metaphysics and epistemology. Plato's ideas also provided a foundation for systematic philosophy and education, shaping the standards for future philosophers. So, ang kaning kang Plato is, kuan iya ha, kanang, for example, ani is, ang anyo ng kagandahan. Isipin ang isang magandang paglubog ng araw. Ito ay isang nakamamanghang tanawin, ngunit ito rin ay pansamantala. Ang mga kulay maglalaho, ang mga ulap ay magbabago at ang araw ay maglulubog. So kanang iyaha is kanang karon daw nga atong experiences dili daw nimo ang reality. Nga naa jud daw mas reality ani nga wala nato na kanang sa likod ana nga reality na pa jud mas reality nga nang atong experience karon. Like for example, mutan-aw ka sa sunset. Di ba kay nindot ang sunset no pero kana siya ma-change na siya kay di ba kay mungit-ngit, sumawa, ma-fade ang color o kuan kanang for example sa kanang ulap, di ba kay ma-change ang kuan kay malalahi ang kuan sa ulap ba. Malahi ang iyahang form. Then diri makuan siya sa metaphysics and epistemology because ang metaphysics ay parang pag-iisip tungkol sa mga malalalim na tanong tungkol sa realidad, parang pagtatanong ng ano ba talaga ang tunay na realidad. So, makuan mo siya ngayon, ani ang kuan ni Plato or paano natin maintindihan ang pag-iiral ng mga bagay. So, murag napatay question na, mo ba niya ang tinuod nga reality nga atong na-experience karon? So, yung ana, then napoy, ano ang nasa likod ng mga bagay na nakita natin? Or ano ang nasa likod ng ating mga karasan. So, yung ana ang kuan sa metaphysics nga ma-relate siya sa theory ni Plato. Then, ang epistemology ay ang pag-aaral kung paano natin nalalaman ang mga bagay-bagay. Parang pagtatanong ng paano natin nalalaman na totoo ang isang bagay. So, daghan tang mga question ba? Even, kana lang ang bagay mo itong hala, nganong, din igagikan, nganong naatay yung ingani. So, mga question kag may ana ba nga, unsa dyo'y reality? Ana. Halimbawa, paano mo malalaman na ang araw ay sumisikat sa silangan? Sa pamamagitan ba ng iyong mga mata? Nang sinabi na yung mga magulang o na iyong mga natutunan sa parang. So, wow, kung asa dyo'y tinuod, kung kinsa dyo'y nag-una. Next is si Aristotle. A student of Plato, developed an empirical approach to philosophy. He believed that knowledge comes from experience and observation of the physical world. He developed a system of logic, including syllogism, to analyze arguments and deepen understanding of concept. So, ang kuani, ang iyahang gi-develop sa logic dahil kaning syllogism, ang example ani is, all men are mortal. Socrates is a man, therefore, Socrates is mortal. Mura na siya parehar atong monkey eats a banana. Ato bitaw yan sa monkey eats a banana. Jessa eats banana, therefore, Jessa is a monkey. So, yung na siya ba? Ang nga ni kang Aristotle. Ug napod siya theory nga everything in the world has four causes. Ang una is material cause. Like material na sanhi. Wala na ako nabutang sa kuan. Ang material na ginamit upang ang gawin ng isang bagay. Halimbawa, ang kahoy ay ang material na sanhi ng isang mesa. So, ang kahoy, gihimo daw siya mesa. Ana. So, mo siya material sanhi. Aha, lagi ka ng kanang mesa. So, ang kuan ana is kahoy. Next is formal na sanhi or formal cause. The shape or form of something, for example, the shape of a table is formal cause. Like for example, ang hugis o anyo ng isang bagay, halimbawa, ang hugis ng mesa ay ang formal na sanhi nito. Next is epektibong sanhi or efficient cause, the person who made or caused something. Like for example, kinsa may nag-build anang lamisa. So syempre, ang carpenter. So muna siyang efficient cause. Then final cause, the purpose of reason why something was made. So ngano gihimo man na ang lamisa? Para gamitan siya sa kanang mga estudyante baron or imong bang estadihan sa ingana. So ang teorya ni Aristotle ay nagtuturo din na ang lahat ng bagay ay may natural na hilig o layunin. Halimbawa, ang isang puno ay may natural na hilig na lumaki at magbunga. Ang teoryang ito ay tinawag na teleology. Sa madaling salita, ang teorya ni Aristotle ay nagbibigay ng isang paraan upang maunawaan ang mundo sa paligid natin. Ito ay nagtuturo sa atin na ang lahat ng bagay ay may mga sanhi, layunin, at na ang mundo ay isang organisadong sistema na may mga natural na batas. So, everything guys na ay kung ano nga, anong naatay technology karon, anong naaning TV dinhi, or anong kuan ka na daghan tag, basta. O, so yung ana ang theory ni Aristotle nga. Ito, ang ihap ito kay para maunawa na tong world nga nung nag-exist ang kanang mga bagay-bagay. Yun lang po. Maraming
Good day, everyone. So now I'm going to discuss about the Hellenistic philosopher Diogenes of Sinope and Epicurus. But first, let me discuss to you the Hellenistic philosophy. Hellenistic philosophy refers to the period of Greek philosophy that followed the conquest of Alexander the Great and extended roughly from the death of Alexander in 323 BCE to the human conquest of Greece in 146 BCE. So, these philosophies shared a focus on ethics. So, kabalo mo ng ethics is kanang what is right and what is wrong, and how to live a good life in changing world, often emphasizing personal inner peace and resilience. So, sa panahon sa Hellenistic, kani nga philosophy nagatudlo sa ato kung unsaon kanang mahimo bitatang makontento sa ato ang kagalingon or sa atong kinabuhi, kung unsay naa sa ato ang kabalotang makontento. So, mao na ang Hellenistic philosophy. So, let's move on to Epicurus. So, Epicurus, he was a Greek philosopher who founded Epicureanism, advocating for happiness through simple pleasures and the avoidance of pain. So, Epicurus advocated for the study of natural phenomena to dispel superstitions to achieve a tranquil life. So, kanipod si Epicurus is naborn siya sa Greek island of Samos. And kaning tranquil life bitaw is kanang way of living characterized by calmness, peace, and stability. So, his core ideas includes atomism and Hinduism. So, atomism, everything is made of atoms in a void, explaining natural phenomena without supernatural causes. So, tanan butang is kanang nagikan gyud siya sa gamay. Ang atomism is void or kanang empty space bitaw siya is necessary for atoms or kanang to move or interact. So mo na siya gikan gyud siya sa gamay, tiny. So mo na siya ang atomism. So Hinduism is the goal of life is to achieve pleasure or absence of pain and avoid unnecessary desire. So absence of pain, mental tranquility, and freedom from fear are key to a happy life. So, kaning ataraxia is kuani siya freedom from disturbance or kanang i-balance bitaw ni imong mindset para dili bitaw madali kanang ma-disturb ang imong lives by ups and down. Like inana gani. So, gastate po ni siya ang ataraxia nga sa kanang inner peace and calmness where one is free from mental distress, anxiety, and worry. So, impact. His ideas influence secular and materialists through shaping modern approaches to well-being and personal happiness. So Epicurus' ideas about seeking pleasure through the absence of pain, both physical and mental, and living simple, moderate life have influenced modern concept of well-being. His philosophy suggests that the true happiness comes from achieving mental peace and reducing unnecessary desires and fears, which align the contemporary practices in psychology and self-care that emphasizes mindfulness, stress management, and the pursuit of meaningful, modest pleasure. For example, kanang mumata ka sa buntag nga kanang peaceful imuhang palibot, mumata ka nga kanang walay sakit imuhang lawas, di ka na, and then magluto bitaw ka nga, malipay ra ka sa imuhang gibuhat, walay ka guol, walay ka sakit, na calmness, mo na siya, and then kanang work daily routine bitaw nimo nga, and then tagaan nimo imuhang kaugalingon o kanang time, relaxation, mo na siya ang murag example sa kaniyang kang Epicurus. So like maintaining a lifestyle that minimizes stress and fosters a sense of security. Kanang i-avoid nimo ang imong kaugalingon sa kanang overwork na ka and allows time for kanang katong relaxation. Nana. So let's move on to Diogenes of Sinope. So was a Greek philosopher and a central figure in Cynicism. He is known for radical rejection of societal norms and materialism, advocating for self-sufficiency and living in accordance with nature. Diogenes' philosophy emphasizes simplicity, asceticism, and freedom from societal constraints. So, kaning Diogenes of Sinope, si Diogenes is kanang gapuyo ra siya sa kanang barrel or large ceramic jar. Kaning Cynicism is kanang kuan po ni siya galantaw sa atong kinabuhi nga dapat nagpuyo ra ta sa kasimplihan ug dili bitaw magpadala sa mga butang nga kanang mga mahal or kung unsay kinahanglan nato ug naa sa ato dapat kabalo pud ta makontento. Inana. So para kay Diogenes pod, ang pagpuyo nga simple o kanang ma-provide ra iyahang mga kinahanglan, malipay na siya kay mao man nabali iyahang way of kanang kabutihan. And then so let's move on to his unconventional behavior, like carrying a lantern in daylight to find an honest person, illustrates his critique of social values. And his influence later stood to and continue to resonate with modern concept of minimalism and personal authenticity. So, ang pasabot niya aning his unconventional behavior, iyahang lifestyle is maglakaw-lakaw siya, magdala siya lantern din, mangita siya o ganang honest person. Kanang gipoint niya diri ang how rare he believed true honesty was among people who otherwise pretended to be virtuous. Kanang lisod kayo sa atong generation karon, lisod na kayo ta mangita o kanang tarong bitaw nga tao o kanang honest, kanang like gisaligan nimo siya pero dili dito siya masaligan, like ina gani. So more to siya. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Divine Grace Enriahan and today we are going to tackle about Zeno of Citium and Plotinus. So Zeno of Citium is the founder of Stoicism and born in Citium, Cyprus around 334 before Christ. He was a Hellenistic philosopher who founded Stoicism. So when we say Hellenistic, it refers as a period in ancient Greek history and culture following the death of Alexander the Great. And Stoicism is a school of thought that emphasizes living in accordance with nature and reason. So ang Stoicism ko no is, muna siya ang school of thought nga ga-emphasize sa living with nature and reason. So Zeno is believed that virtue was the highest good and that achieving inner peace and tranquility came from controlling one's emotion and desires. So si Zeno kuno is nito siya nga ang virtue kuno is mo ang highest good na ma-achieve nimo ang inner peace and tranquility came from controlling one's emotion and imong desire. And Stoicism also stressed the concept of a universal reason or logos
that governs the universe. Zeno's early life was marked by a career as a merchant, but a shipwreck and subsequent encounter with the writings of Socrates led him to abandon this path and dedicate himself to philosophy. So si Zenos is kuan siya kanang ang iyang early life sa una is kanang kanang merchant siya pero shipwreck and subsequent. So meaning shipwreck and subsequent is kuan kanang ga-describe sa the chain of event tapos kuan ang shipwreck is the trigger for something else to happen without us. Mga totas. Shipwreck subsequent encounter with the writings of Socrates nga nag-lead sa iya nga i-abandon tong path nga which is ang shipwreck of subsequent ug mo dedicate iyang kaugalingon sa philosophy. Next is si Zeno di ay is study siya under various teacher including si Crates of Thebes, a prominent Cynic philosopher, and later established his own school in Athens. Zeno's teaching were influential, and Stoicism flourished as a major school of philosophy throughout the Hellenistic and Roman periods. So, influential ang teachings ni Zeno. Notable figures who were influenced by Stoicism include the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius and the philosopher Seneca. So, bada ni ang one of quote ni Zeno of Citium. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. So, nado tay 2 ears ug isa ka mouth. So, dapat maminaw pa kung saan dapat na po istorya. Next is si Plotinus. So, si Plotinus is the architect of Neoplatonism. When we say Neoplatonism, it is a philosophical system that emerged in the 3rd century. And Plotinus was born in Egypt and studied philosophy in Alexandria before traveling to Rome, where he established his own school. So, si Plotinus is gustadi siya philosophy sa Alexandria before siya ni-travel sa Rome, and then establish niya ang iyang own school. His writings, known as the Aeneids. Aeneids are considered the most important source of information on Neoplatonism. So, kanida yung Aeneids no is mo ni siya ang Plotinus writings nga were collected and edited by Porphyry into 6 books of 9 treatises, each known as the Aeneids. So, kanina writings nag-cover siya of wide range of philosophical topics including metaphysics, cosmology, psychology, ethics, and mysticism. Ang Aeneids is the most important source of information on Neoplatonism and had a lasting impact on Western philosophy. So, Plotinus' unconventional behavior like carrying a lantern in daylight to find an honest person illustrate his critique of social values. These ideas influenced later Stoicism thought and continue to resonate with modern concepts of minimalism and personal authenticity. So this theory became influential because it emphasized systematic study of the world and the use of logic to solve problems. So, kanina nga theory mo ni siya naka-influential because na-emphasize systematic study sa world and the use of logic para ma-solve ang problems. And his ideas laid the foundation for fields such as science, ethics, and politics, and continued to impact modern thought.
So, good day everyone. I am the last reporter, Glanza May Noble. So, I'm going to tackle about the Hypatia of Alexandria. She was a renowned female philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer who lived in Alexandria, Egypt. So, nganong mathematician o astronomer siya? Tungod kay she built a tool to measure the propositions of star and planet. And also a tool to measure the density of liquids underwater, which is called the astrolabe or astrolabe. She was the daughter of Theon of Alexandria, the last head librarian of the Library of Alexandria, who tutored her in mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. So, si Alexandria is, iyahang papa is librarian din, tapos iyang papa may nag-tutor dito siya sa mathematics, astronomy, o sa philosophy. Pantog na knowledgeable siya na nga field. Her life and tragic death offer a glimpse into the clash between reason and religious fanaticism in late antiquity. So nga nung tragic iyahang kamatayon, tungod kay sa una, iha bitaw mga teachings is dili bitaw religious, then tapos ang Christian is kanang murag dili wala gyud siya niangay sa iyang teachings ba, then tapos gipatay siya. Ang ilang giingon kay kanang dito daw sa street na kanang gisi daw yan sinina tapos isumbang-sumbang na. Key ideas of Hypatia. First is Neoplatonism. Hypatia was a prominent Neoplatonist philosopher, a strict form of principle monism that strives to understand everything on the basis of single cause that considered divine, or indiscriminately referred to as the first or the one, or the good, the one. So, Neoplatonism is the source of origin of all things. So, for example, kani mga LGBTQ, para mailhan bitaw sila sa community, ilang fight ilahang kanang ilang rights nga kanang para respetuon pud sa uban, like nagbuhat sila og kana bitawng movement para anang rally nga kailangan nga kanang gi-emphasize nga tao man pud sila, then apart pud sila sa society, so why not love them bisan og ingon ana ang ilang gender bitaw. So, reason and rationality. She emphasized the importance of reason and rational thinking in understanding the world, promoting critical thinking and intellectual inquiry. So, any reason and rationality kanang murag kung naay ka na bang problema or kanang naakay ka nang murag ma-face bitaw nga kanang challenge sa imong kinabuhi. Di ba kay mangita kag pamaagi unsaon nimo para masulbad siya? Kay di ba daghan kag ways nga kanang dapat daghan kag ways nga kanang hunahunahon bitaw para masulbad nimo imong problema. Kibali isa-isa. Scenario ani is kanang kintahay in the middle of the road naguban kag sakyanan, then tapos di ba pag maguban kag sakyanan mangita ka og way, then tapos para nang kintay kung nakay-tool sa imong likod sa imong sakyanan, muadto ka dito ay imong kuhaon, di tapos ikaw na lang magmuni-muni, or di ba ka manawag kag kanang tao sa cellphone para matabangan ka dito sa road. Gender equality. Hypatia's life exemplified a challenge to societal norms, advocating for gender equality in the pursuit of knowledge and intellectual endeavors. So sa una, si Hypatia naga-inspire bitaw siya sa mga women nga mo eskwela o education in order to break that traditional gender equality. Hypatia's philosophy, with its emphasis on reason, tolerance, and the pursuit of knowledge, remains relevant today. In a world often characterized by division and intolerance, her teachings serve as a reminder of the importance of critical thinking, open-mindedness, and the pursuit of truth. Her life and work are a testament to the enduring power of reason and importance of challenging societal norms. So, sa gikaingon ko lang nako, ang main philosophy ni Hypatia is katong Neoplatonism. So, ang Neoplatonism is naka-center bitaw siya sa word nga the one. The one is considered the source of origin of all things, the ultimate reality that lies beyond our comprehension. It is the ultimate source of goodness, beauty, and truth. So, murag dili bitaw nagagikan ang kan kung asa ang sinugdanan, dapat pangitaon pud nimo ang kana bitaw way para makonquer nimo ang kanang butang. Like for example, nakay problema karon, di ba mangita kag paraan para masulbad nimo siya. So in conclusion sa tanang report, the influence of Greek philosophers on modern philosophical thought is undeniable. Their ideas have shaped our understanding of the universe, human nature, knowledge, and the good life. They continue to inspire us to ask fundamental questions, to think critically, and to strive for a better understanding of ourselves and the world. So, in the present times, di ba, ang Greek philosophers is kanang murag, ang ilaha bitang mga works is kanang bitang nag-emerge gihapon karon nga panahon to continue to inspire sa atoa. Like for example, kanang the way ta maghuna-huna, dumduman na to sila tungod sa ilahang mga philosophical views. Thank you.